The Panthers, the reigning, defending, undisputed Triple Crown champions, are up next. They've picked up Paul Alamoti, Dane Laurie, Riley Price and Brad Schneider. They've lost Jack Cogger, Crichton, Zach Hostings, Jenkins, Spencer Lenu, Jamin Semin. How's the draw look?
Probably on the slightly easier side for the Panthers, but they do have 3 5-day turnarounds, so which is the most out of anyone apart from the Tigers. And let's be real, it's Penrith, so the draw doesn't matter. 3/5, fuck all. It's Penrith.
It is so incredible, and obviously you and I have lived most of our life in Penrith.
Yeah.
I just think they're just such the powerhouse they are. They played the bottom 9 14 times. They got the Broncos twice, Seagulls, Storm, Knights, Cowboys, Eels, Bunnies, and Dragons. They take on the Storm in round 1, who have been undefeated for 25 years, and then Parramatta round 2. But apart from that, it is what it is. Their best 17, I guess we know we get here. Dylan Edwards, Tuo, Tungo, and May, the centres. Gosh, they've really lost out there. Taruva, Luai, Cleary, Fisher Harris, Kenny, Leota, Martin Sorensen, Yo is the lock. And then I've got Peachy, Garner, Smith, and Eisenhuth on the best. How do you preview this team? They're just better than everyone else.
Exactly.
This is a short preview. Cool.
The recruitment's probably a little bit of a loss, but as I said before, it's Penrith. Draw doesn't matter. Who comes in and out of this team really doesn't seem to matter. Their 5-day turnarounds are around Origin and just not long after, so could cause a little bit of a speed bump in the way that they're progressing through the year, but we've found that generally it doesn't matter too much to them. They've been the best side for 4 years consecutively, just week after week. They've lost a few quality players, but they've done that for the last 2 seasons as well with little to no effect. Very strong 17. They've got some Origin players, international players, and blokes that are right on the cusp. If they're not playing, they're probably next in line to be picked. So X factor all through the starting side, and the youth just keeps coming for Penrith. That's the biggest thing.
Well, they got the best nursery in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just for the interest of filling this out a little bit more, the Penrith play style, how do you describe it?
Oh, it's very similar to Melbourne, but probably have a little bit more creativity coming out of a few of their edge players. It's not all reliant on just the spine players. They've got a few guys in and around. Obviously, the 13 in Yo that can provide some ball playing and a kick occasionally if he needs to. They've got back rowers that really do like to ball play, pop offloads, and some of these outside backs up there is the quickest and most skillful. Probably not the biggest, but footwork and pace as good as anyone out there.
People forget, obviously, the injuries. People forget about May, but Tungo was, as I said, Tungo was putting people into HAs in attack, let alone defence. And you get May back, who was the prototype for him. It's an exciting centre combination. And Taruva, I went to a few Penrith games last year, and he
took him a little while to get going. But once he started,
every team just kicked to him, just hammered him with kicks, and he never. I can't remember a time he failed. Can't remember a time he let him down. And then now that he's got that reputation, it brings Bizza back into the game. Like, what a fantastic back five. What do you... And then Dylan Edwards, people want to tell me he's the best fullback in the game. I think he's the hardest working fullback in the game. Yeah.
Defensive positioning is fantastic.
Yep.
His support play is right up there with the best of them. Probably doesn't have the footwork as some of the other fullbacks do, as in being able to beat players one-on-one, but give him half a gap and he's as good as anybody. So
yeah.
Looking for an all-round fullback.
Pretty good, strong.
He'd be the best in the comp.
Fair enough.
Be right up there with strength as well, I would imagine. Seems to be able to push off players.
Incredible to see where he's come from, given, I think, the first year we started the show.
Couldn't catch a footy.
Couldn't catch a cold, let alone a footy. Yeah. Great forward pack. Spencer Lenu, let's talk about the losses. Crichton, I think they'll cover, but...
It is a loss.
But it's a loss given...
I think in those big games...
Given his clutch in the last 2 grand finals, incredible performances. and their second choice kicker, and a beautiful kicker. Like I hope he kicks for Canterbury.
He does kick well, doesn't he?
And
It always seemed
Lenu
to provide something in those big games.
Yeah.
When there was something going on, he just managed to be able to sniff it out, whether it was an
He all,
intercept
th-
or
always one for an
all
intercept.
three grand finals, I reckon he's pulled something
whether
out.
it was an intercept, whether it was an in and away on someone who set up his winger or scored himself.
Yeah. So is he a 6-point loss to Penrith?
Probably pretty close to it.
And Spencer Lenu, how many games has Penrith been down and out and gone, and he'll come on and just change the game in a heartbeat? They don't have that yet, and he might well be buyer of the year for next year, but
That aggression and physicality.
the aggression and physicality they don't have, where where they can drag up a Lindsay Smith or a Maverick Geyer. We'll see. We'll learn more next week, but I think that's a big loss. Like now their bench is starting to look a little bit thin, in my humble. No?
That being
Okay.
said, there's still a very good chance for mine of putting 4 consecutive trophies next to each other.
Oh,
in
no,
the cabinet.
no doubt in the world. No doubt. What else do we say about
Yeah.
Penrith?
I do agree with you. Depth of squad's a little skinnier than previous years, but the juniors seem to make up for it.
Yes.
Obviously,
And there's blokes we don't even
Leon
know
of them
yet
coming
that are
in.
going to come in and be freaks. Yeah.
And when they lose a player, they seem to pull one out that's been playing with them for 15 years.
Yeah. And or go and find, and what is a sign of a good coach, and what Bellamy's done for 20 years and Bennett's done, is they'll go and sign an Alan Morte or someone, and before you know it, he'll be a superstar. They'll go and find someone like an Alan Morte who was always the spruik, never really got going.
just going on that connection.
Look at Jack. Look at Cogger last year. Look at you'll see Brad Schneider come in and be played. You just slot in and you'll do the job.
yeah. I had big raps on him before he went to England. Obviously,
Yeah.
only played a couple of games for Canberra. I thought they were mad for getting rid of him, and I think they're even crazier now, actually, to be honest, because he should be in that side playing with Fogarty. But just on that connection that you're talking about, that comes back to the club structure and the systems that they put in place. Like they don't have a different coach running the 16s. They don't have a different. Like obviously they're different people,
there's a
but
complete
they're the
article.
same
Same coach with a different
They're-
name.
it's done
There was an
the
article
same way
about
all the way
I
through.
think they call them the Pearls. Every year they find 5 juniors that they go, these are the 5, and they basically, if not train with first grade, do every first grade drill, know all the first grade, and it's very it's very harsh, it's very full on. It's like if you can't cop it, fuck off.
We'll find
And
another
if
one.
you can't, and I think like their strike rate, they had the names. It's like it's only been for 2 or 3 years, and it's been 100%.
And they just try to obviously emulate what they're doing at the top all the way through the grades, and it works. Obviously, just year after year, you saw it with the Broncos when years ago when they were churning out the same blokes. Penrith, the Storm, a few of the other clubs that are in and around that sort of area seem to have players that just come in and fit in. They don't take half a season to get into the way that they're playing their footy. So.
Absolutely. Where do they fit? Minor premiership, top 4. Just go. You just
On
park them in your top
default,
4 and be cozy.
with the draw that they've got, and obviously who they've still got. Yeah, I've still got them running minor premierships. Like, as I said, I think everyone's sort of trimmed their teams up, and they're probably slightly stronger than they were last year. Apart from obviously a few, there's a couple, 3 or 4 of those teams that will be going backwards. I don't care what you say, but Penrith, even with the losses that they've got, the draw that they have should see them coming into the toughest part of their year, probably well on top.
Agree. And astute signings, as I said, like Schneider will come in and play, and has played 4 games this year. Schneider and Laurie will end up being the halves for 3 games through Origin, and they'll be fine. Big year for Sonny Luke. Does he have to do something?
Does he get a
Yeah,
game
he
in
might
first
not get
grade?
a game.
I don't think he does.
I don't know if he does.
I think they stick with Peachy.
And then you saw the other young fella that they threw in there for a game
And
made
I
Sonny
think
look like an amateur.
Yeah,
Really.
he was good too. Can't have his name now. I know Riley Smith's up the sleeve. I can't think of it. Yeah, Summerton.
Luke Summerton.
He was great. He was fantastic. Very, very good. So there's blokes running around we don't even know yet. I'm sure. I wish Gump was here because he'd reel
Tell
off.
us some more. Yeah.
Gump would reel off 10 names, but unfortunately, he wasn't available today.